Well, I will first of all thank for this invitation who honors me and honors my institution. I will say for the beginning that Latin America has always had a constant vocation for integration and has made multiple attempts with different models. This search for association has had an inspiration as a role model in the process of the European integration. However, the starting point of each region was not the same, and the political, economic, and support mechanisms that drove and accompanied the process in Europe were very different from those in Latin America and the Caribbean. History has run its course, and those differences in basic fundamentals of integration have resulted in very dissimilar progress. I won't say anything on Europe, which is nowadays headlines in the newspaper. But I will refer to the case of Latin America and Caribbean, and I will remember that different regional integration initiatives of the similar natures and objectives coexist. Andean Community, Latin American Integration Association, Mercosur, the ALBA, or Bolivarian Alliance for the Peoples of Our America, UNASUR, and recently the Pacific Alliances are among them. This large amount of initiatives indicate that in the region there is not a lack of willingness to integrate, but difficulties arises from nature and characteristics of the process, as well as the long-term commitment that requires this kind of initiatives. Why has this region had so little progress in terms of integration despite so many attempts? The difference is not. There are different and if not contrary, ideological approaches to that, especially on the role of the state in the economy, on regional security and global openness. And these have limited the region from reaching a common vision on regional and international integration, and has eroded the Latin American position as a productive and competitive region. However, it will be unfair not to recognize the progress that the countries in the region have made in the last decades. It can be said that they have achieved what we would call two great political pacts: macroeconomic stability and social development, which in a whole can be considered successful. Thus, millions of people have managed to get out of poverty, and the middle class has had an important growth. But it remains the challenge to overcome the deep inequality prevailing in our countries. Looking ahead, the region needs to move toward a new pact focused on improving productivity and competitiveness. Latin America and Caribbean need to take action to promote the development of coordinated regional productive chain of manufacturers that allows a competitive insertion in a global stage, increase investment in sustainable infrastructure, contribute to the improvement of institutional and regulatory framework, encourage innovation and research, and as well as incorporation of modern technologies. For this, the region must move toward a more pragmatic integration in accordance with the constant changing global scenario, and build on a strong political commitment and develop good governance with a long-term horizon to fulfill the established goals and objectives. With this view, we have to overcome the past paradigm and assume a sort of integration à la carte, which means an approach not only to seek economic integration, which of course matters, but also look into more into areas such as improvement of connectivity, infrastructure development, or investment in border areas that in our countries are usually least developed. These developments are crucial for a region like South America, which its hinterland suffers from serious isolation problems due to the scarce and lack of quality of its connectivity infrastructure, excluding the population for the benefit not only of the economic cycle, but most important for quality education, effective healthcare system, internet access, among others. So it is essential that the approach towards regional integration shall be assumed as a multidimensional project that transcends economic and commercial factors and where the benefits are transferred to all society. So what we have nowadays is a scenario marked by the important, contradictory, if not conflicting vision of development between countries, and by the breaking of certain consensus that had been in course for more than 70 years, allowing certain global order. In this context, one question arises: how can the region generate the conditions to increase its level of productivity and competitiveness and shield itself from the fluctuation of external factors? For Latin America, this is the time to show that we have learned from the mistakes of the past and that we are ready to work together toward the future with optimism, commitment, and clear ideas. Though there is a high heterogeneity between our countries, many of the actions that must be taken are common to all. Moving toward greater integration that allows gains in productivity and social equality require, first, to close the existing infrastructure gap, promoting greater and better investment, incorporating best practices and technologies that generate logistic gains, strengthening public sector capacities in the design, study, financing, execution, and maintenance of projects, and promoting greater participation in private sector. Second, to increase the quality of education, reduce existing inequalities between public and private systems, and strengthen the link between academia and the business sectors. This requires increasing efforts in quality of early childhood education, improve learning conditions and the relevance of the contents, aligning them not only to international standards, but also to certain skills and disciplines for the new digital era. Promote promotional training from schools and universities so that the future professionals begin to train their job skills from an early age. And third, to generate the conditions for encouraging innovation in both the public and private sectors, with entrepreneurship policies from the central and subnational administration to streamline and simplify procedures and regulation, establish policies of opening and reusing data, and generate the conditions for financial sector to develop properly. So the multilateral development have traditionally play a very important role as to accompany the member countries in their transformation process toward functional economies that will be productive, competitive, inclusive, sustainable, resilient, integrate, and properly governed. The work of these financial institutions has been essential to our countries in a multidimensional ways for the development process. In the face of the new Pact of Productivity and Competitiveness, these institutions have the responsibility to continue to play a relevant role. In CAF, we base our work in a comprehensive development agenda shared by our member countries to address the main challenges facing the region, which are, of course, infrastructure, productivity, financial inclusion, water and sanitation, education, environmental sustainability, and institutionalism. We are proud to represent a relevant source of the region multilateral financing, but we are more proud to know that our daily activity changed and improved the life of millions of Latin Americans. So, only in 2018, and thanks to our support, more than 5 million people got internet connection. More than 2.4 million people now are accessing to a new or improved energy infrastructure. And 40,000 new households have access to and improved drinking water connections. Let's make the integration a tool for the improvement of quality of life of our own people, reducing poverty, exclusion, and marginality. Thank you.